I remember I had great angst every night before I went out because I was not able to be myself.
This is a time more than ever that you want to begin to inoculate yourself with positive words, coming to conventions, showing up on meetings, being on the calls to make yourself unstoppable.
We're gonna make less money this year at 100 million than we made last year at 67. Net. I don't mean percentage. Net.
I'm David. Welcome to Wise Vibes. Ability, motivation, and attitude are the fuel to allow you to accomplish anything you want in life, and you have the potential to achieve anything that you set your mind to. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the 9 most important skills you need in order to master your life. We're going to start off the first one with Will Smith, maintain positive. Number 2 is Be Yourself by Dwayne Johnson.
I remember I had great angst every night before I went out because I was not able to be myself.
Sensation of the year, Rocky Maivia, Intercontinental Champion, and yes,
my very first WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year, the Super Bowl of wrestling.
It's not just all luck, is it? Well, this is Rocky.
That night, 20,000 fans started chanting "Rocky sucks." It was a sobering moment, and that was the beginning of the end of my initial run in the WWE. A few weeks later, I tore a tendon in my knee and I was out for the rest of the summer. And I came to the realization before I went back that it wasn't me, personally, that they didn't like. It was that I wasn't being me. I wasn't being real. I wasn't being authentic. Who is this guy in wrestling who's smiling when he's getting beat? A few weeks later, I got a call from the WWE and I spoke to Vince McMahon. He said, when you come back, we could continue to shove you down people's throats, or we could turn you heel because they want to boo you anyway. I said, I think it's a great idea. And I said, before we get off the phone, I have one request. I said, when I come back and we go live, I just need 2 minutes live, me talking to the audience live. 2 minutes is all I'm asking. He said, okay. You got it. A couple of weeks later, I came back. We were on live TV. I grabbed the microphone. Fans were already booing. They started chanting, "Rocky sucks."
In arenas across the country, I heard chants of "Rocky sucks."
I said, I may be a lot of things.
Well, Rocky might be is a lot of things,
but sucks isn't one of them.
but sucks isn't one of them.
In that moment, The Rock was born. And about a month later, I was the hottest heel in the company. And things were on fire. And the greatest lesson about that is be you. Be yourself. Whether it's in entertainment, whether it's out in public, whether you're a celebrity or not, whatever. And the most powerful thing you can be is yourself.
If you liked the video so far, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more daily inspiration and motivation. Number 3 is going to be with Kobe Bryant, Study Success. Rest in peace, Kobe.
Kind of take us behind kind of the curtains with Michael. Was there ever a moment that you guys spoke that you felt like it energized you and you learned from him?
Yeah, it was crazy, man, because my favorite player was Magic growing up. And then I quickly realized my father stole all my height, and I wasn't going to be a 6'9" point guard. So I had to, so I looked at this young guy coming up. And the thing that I marveled at wasn't the fact that he was getting to the rim and doing these fancy stuff. It was like, how is he getting to the rim? How is he doing it? Right? You look at the footwork, you look at the fundamentals, you look at the spacing, the pacing, right? And all those little things, the angles. And that's what becomes fascinating. It's like, okay, how do I get there? Right, so I started studying all those basics. And then when I came to the league, the first time I played against him, I won his respect because it was like, this kid's not scared of me at all. Right, and he saw a kindred spirit from that standpoint. And that started a relationship. And it became something where it was like, text him anytime, hits me right back. Questions, hits me right back. And we're talking all the time.
And number 4 by Robert Herjavec is Be Able to Adapt.
One of the fascinating things in the book is you draw on other people's experiences that don't seem to relate to your life. George St. Pierre, MMA fighter. What does a businessman learn from a guy who punches people for a living?
Well, we're just talking about that outside, and the difference between the UFC fighter and the rest of us is no one hits us in the face every morning. So that really brings things into focus. What I learned out of him is it's all about being efficient. It's not the strong, it's not the big, it's not the rich, it's not the poor that'll inherit the earth. It'll be the efficient. You don't see too many dinosaurs walking around anymore, and they were really big animals.
Yeah. So, okay, great. So not being a dinosaur is an important lesson. So how do you keep
adaptability? Adaptability. So I've never been the smartest guy in the room, but I feel pretty confident if you drop me in the middle of a jungle, I'll figure out a way to survive. It's your ability to survive in any situation that separates the people that do well from those that don't.
Play the Long Game by Gary Vaynerchuk.
Most people start businesses to take the money out to buy themselves things, which is why they never build long-term big businesses. You have to understand there's a fundamental reason I have the career that I have. The only thing I am is energy for the long term. When you can oversell your reality, but then build to the new reality, that's how you get big. For VaynerMedia, I was able to, over the last 5 years, grow us from 22 people to 800 people, from 3 million to 100 million in revenue, because I can continue to do my model. We're gonna make less money this year at 100 million than we made last year at 67. Net. I don't mean percentage. Net. Historically, I've liked to run them where 1 year is profitable and the next year is not. So the growth is there, but the non-profitable every other year was predicated on me being able to invest in people, advertising, or resources. More people, more capabilities. 99% of the market is short term. And the 1% that isn't and has the talent wins every time. Which makes no sense, because unless you're gonna die, you should only play long term. If you're gonna live to be in 2020, you might as well play to be in 2020.
Number 6, You're Different by Les Brown.
This is a time more than ever that you want to begin to inoculate yourself with positive words, coming to conventions, showing up on meetings, being on the calls, to make yourself unstoppable, to get out of your mind the polluting negative thoughts that's causing most people to go through life being stuck because they're volunteer victims. Somebody said that many people die at age 25 and don't get buried until they're 65 because they got so much garbage in their minds. You're here because you've got a clear vision of what you want and where you're going. Give yourselves a round of applause. Come on, bring energy level up. Yes. Yes. You want more. You want more. You're different. You're different than everybody else. Don't worry if they don't get it. Don't try and convince people to do this business. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. You are not like everybody else. You can walk outside and find pigeons, but if you're looking for eagles, it's going to take you a minute. You are different. It's lonely at the top. How many of you know it's lonely at the top? Raise your hands. It's lonely at the top, but you eat better. That's what I'm talking about. You're different. One great entrepreneur said, I choose not to be a common man. It's my right to be uncommon if I can. I seek opportunity, not security. I do not wish to be a kept citizen, humbled and dulled by having the state look after me. I want to take the calculated risk, to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to live from hand to mouth. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence, the thrill of fulfillment to the still calm of utopia. I will never cower before any master, nor bend to any threat. It's my heritage to stand erect, proud and unafraid, to face the world boldly and say, this I have done. You showed up because you're building a business that you can stand and say, I did this. I did this. This is my dream. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yes.
And Shift Your Focus by Tony Robbins.
I want to show you what you can do with just focus. Try this for a moment. I'm going to give you a test. Sit up in your chair with some energy. Make sure your buddy next to you is in a strong state. If otherwise, adjust their state. Come on, change their physiology, whatever they got to do. See if they're ticklish. That might help. Now do this. I want you to look around this room right now and find everything in this room that you can find that is brown as fast as you can. Look for brown, look for brown, look for brown, look for brown. Look around you, look for brown, look for brown, look for brown. Okay, close your eyes. I'm going to give you a test. With your eyes closed now, shout out loud everything you saw that was red. If you see a lot more brown right now than red, say yes. Open your eyes. Look for red now. I want you to really look for red. Look for red, look for red, look for red. Anything you can find that's red, look for red. All around you, look for red. Raise your hand if you found more red this time and say I. Why did you find more red this time? Because seek and you shall. That's right. Whatever you focus on, you're going to find it. In fact, let me tell you something. You'll even find it when it's not there. How many saw burgundy, called it red, just so you could have more things you counted? Raise your hand, say aye, come on. See, whatever you're looking for, you're going to find. So if you want to change your life, my friends, you got to change your physiology and you got to change your focus. By the way, how fast can you change that stuff? How fast, my friends? How fast? How fast? Come on. In a heartbeat, once you rechange your conditioning. That's all you got to do. And you can do it fast. You can do it with a question or two. Try this right now. Answer this question in your mind and be honest. What in your life today, if you wanted to be, could you feel proud about right now? If you wanted to feel proud, if you didn't feel like, I shouldn't be proud, if you wanted to feel proud, what could you be proud of in your life today? Your children, your health, your body. Is there a problem you faced? Instead of running from it, you finally stepped up and handled it? What could you feel proud of in your life today if you wanted to feel proud? How many can think of something? And when you think about this thing you're proud of, what about that makes you feel proud? What do you focus on that makes you feel proud? How do you breathe when you really start to feel proud? What's the kind of look on your face that starts to happen when you let yourself feel proud? Yeah. How's that feel? Think of another area of your life. Think of an area of your life that you're grateful for. Or if you go, I'm not grateful. If you wanted to be grateful, what's an area you could feel grateful for? What could you feel grateful for if you really wanted to feel grateful? How many can think of something you could feel grateful for? Let me see your hands. And what about that are you grateful for? What do you focus on that makes you feel grateful? How does it feel when you're really, truly feeling filled with gratitude? Here's one. If you wanted to be excited about your life right now, and you were willing to be excited, you're willing to buck everybody else's trend, what could you feel excited about in your life if you wanted to feel excited? What could you get excited about if you really focused on it and you really took it in? And you weren't in a negative place. What could you get excited about if you wanted to be excited in your life? What could you get excited about? How many of you can think of something you feel excited about right now? Raise your hand. Let me see your hand. Say I. When you're really excited about it, what about that excites you? Or when you're really excited, how do you feel? How do you speak? What's your life like? By the way, when you're excited, does it tend to touch other people? Yes or no? Absolutely. By the way, do people have a tendency, who feels different right now than just even a couple moments ago? Raise your hand and say I. Why? Because focus is controlled by questions. If you ask a different question continuously, not once, continuously, you will get a different answer. If you ask a lousy question, you get a lousy answer and a lousy state. Somebody says, why does this always happen to me? It doesn't always happen to you, but the brain's like a computer. Ask it a question, it'll have to come up with an answer because you deserve it, you idiot. Someone will say, how come I can never lose weight? You can lose weight, but if you keep saying, how come I can never lose weight, the brain's got to come and answer. It goes, you're a pig. Lousy questions create what? Lousy answers. Ask a better question, get a better answer.
Be Passionate by Mark Cuban.
Do you think that passion transcends into the way you approach business?
Yeah, I think it's the other way around. I think it was the passion I've always had for business and being an entrepreneur that transfers into the Mavs. I've always been passionate. Some people thought, it's more OCD than anything else, which I think is a great trait for an entrepreneur. When I mentioned the stamp business, I would stay up till 3, 4 in the morning, even though I had to get up and go to school, and read Lynn Stamp News and Scott Stamp journals and have them all memorized and use that to give myself an edge. Even when I was in college, I'd be in the library reading business books and just looking for business biographies and just reading all I could about business. When I had Micro Solutions and I started with no money, I pull all-nighters.
Next is Warren Buffett with Speaking Up.
You will jump out much more than you might anticipate. One of the things you would want to be sure to do is, whether you like it or not, get very comfortable, it may take a while, with public speaking, for example. I mean, that's an asset that will last you 50 or 60 years, and it's a liability if you don't like doing it and are uncomfortable doing it, that also will last you 50 or 60 years, and it's a necessary skill.
Comment down below which was your favorite skill or speaker presented in the video, and I'm going to leave you with this quote right here. You're not going to master the rest of your life in one day. Just relax, master the day, then just keep doing that every day. Remember, Rome was not built in a day, so if you want some more daily motivation and inspiration, I recommend clicking this playlist right over here, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.